Good morning everyone. Today I am going to explain about topic constraint satisfaction problem. And topics to be covered is constraint satisfaction problem and example of map coloring, constraints graph and algorithm of constraint satisfaction example and types of constraints, forward checking and backtracking, at last conclusion. First, constraint satisfaction problem. What is constraint satisfaction? A problem is solved when each variable has a value that satisfies all the constraints on the variable. So, a problem described in this way that it is called as constraint satisfaction problem. A constraint satisfaction problem consists of three components x, d and c. X is a set of variables and d is a set of domains and c is a set of constraints. Example, map coloring. Let us take a map of Australia. This is the map of Australia. So we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 countries in Australia map. So we have to color these as no two colors are same. No two adjacent colors are same. So we have colored that. Let us take there are 7 variables of 7 countries. So we have given that 3 colors. So in this map we can see that there is no two colors, two adjacent colors are same. So it takes minimum 3 colors. So we can have 7 colors also. It can have 7 colors so that each country has each color. That is a maximum number of colors. We have to take minimum number. So it can satisfy the constraint. Let us see the constraint graph. So nodes and variables are given as its constraints. These seven nodes are called countries in the Australia continent. Constraint satisfaction. This constraint satisfaction problem in artificial intelligence have goal of discovering some problem state so that it satisfies the all given set of constraints. So constraint satisfaction is such procedure that operates in space of constraint sets. So in this problem we have discussed that it can have also 7 colors, but our constraint is we have minimum number of colors you should use. So we can use 3 colors is minimum. In this constraint satisfaction, it is a two-step process. First, constraints are discovered and propagated as far as possible throughout the system. Then it is still not a solution. Search begins. So we have to make another color which is not it is in the touch and adjacent to it. We can give same color to it. This is the algorithm for constraint satisfaction. We have to first propagate available constraints. To do this, first set open to all set of objects that must have values assigned to them in the complete solution. Then do an until inconsistency process until open is empty. So second is it is in the union of constraint discovered above the defines a solution that quits the report of the solution. If the union of the constraints discovered above defines a contradiction, then return it is a failure. So we have to go to the first, and it is a backtracking process. If neither of the above occurs, then it is necessary to make guess at something or order to be proceeded. So we can guess all the contradictions and we have to proceed further. So if it may be a contradiction is correct or right or failure. What are the types of constraints? There are 3 types of constraints, which are unary constraints and binary constraints and higher order constraints, which is 3 or more variables, and real world CSPs. Constraint satisfaction problem has real world sequences. So we have assignment problems, transportation scheduling and factory scheduling. Let's check the idea of forward checking. First, in that given map we have 7 countries. Keep track of remaining legal values for unassigned variables. So terminate search which when any variable has no legal values. So first we have taken 3 colors. So we gave first color to first country, that is red color. So it is our idea we can check the countries which are not adjacent to that. Which are not adjacent, there is a, 3 4 countries, so we can give the color with any one color to that. So by keep tracking of remaining legal values of for unassigned variables, terminate such when any variable has no legal values. So forward checking propagates information from assigned to unassigned variables but doesn't provide early detection for all failures. So it is a bad process to make this even good. So NT and SA are two countries which cannot be both are blue because they are adjacent side. Constraint propagation algorithms repeatedly enforce constraints locally. Constraint propagation. In a regular state space search, an algorithm can be do only one thing, that is only search. In constraint satisfaction problem, there is a choice. An algorithm can search or do specific type of inference and called as constraint propagation. Constraint propagation may also intertwine with search and or it may be hidden as a pre-processing step before search starts. Sometimes this processing can be solve the whole problem, but it is not a key idea, so it is a local consistency. It is a bad sequence in that situation if we have each binary constraint as an arc, and then the process of enforcing local consistency in each point of the graph causes inconsistent values to be eliminated throughout the graph. So there are different types of local consistency: node consistency, arc and path, and K consistency. Let's check what is backtracking. Backtracking search is the user to for depth first search that chooses values for one variable at a time, and backtracking when the variables has no legal values left to assign. It repeatedly chooses an unassigned variable and then it tries all the values of in the domain variable into turn trying to find a solution. If it not found a solution, it can be backtracking. It retains failure and causing previous call to try another value. So it can backtrack backside. So it can try another value in the place of that. Only need to consider assignments to single variable at each node. First, depth first search. Depth first search can be used in this constraint sequence problems with single variable assignment is called backtracking search. This is an example for backtracking. Let us take the same map. In the map we have three colors. Before we saw that in that three colors we have colored each as the red and green and blue. First, taking depth first search. First it is a red color, we have to go with this. When it is adjacent to red color, it is adjacent another country, we have to color another one, but it is not red, so two chances are giving green and blue. After that, for this depth first search, this is the map, so we can give this as red and again blue. Like this it goes on. First, improving backtracking efficiency and generally purposes methods can give huge gains in speed. What is the variable should be assigned next, and we have to check also in what order should it be values be tried, so we detect the inevitable failure early. These are the improving backtracking techniques efficiency makes more. Conclusion: what is we have learnt about constraint satisfaction problem and what are special kinds of that. We have saw about the map coloring problem. We have seen about backtracking. What is backtracking? Depth first search with only one variables assigned as per node. So we have also checked about forward checking, why it is not a good condition for this problem, and constraint propagation does additional work to constraint values and detect inconsistencies. Iterative minimum conflicts is usually effective in practice. Thank you.